Dave, they have to be pretty pleased so far.
AB, I've got a theory. Quick review. Who's leading the race?
Jimmie Johnson.
Jimmie Johnson. Okay, the seat in Regan Smith's car is an exact copy of Jimmie Johnson's. The shell, the insert, everything except a little lowering of the headrest is exactly the same. So that may be why Regan's running so well. His car wouldn't turn before the last stop on lap 73. They put on 4 tires, adjusted a little. At this point, he's reporting he needs a little rear grip, but you could say he's driving like a champ right now for a good reason.
Oh, very nice.
So if he gets off a little bit, Dave, they need to put more padding in the seat instead of a little wedge.
He's actually going to run the car. He's done that a couple times earlier this year, just filling in for people. Regan Smith, however, is going to just, hopefully, if everything works out well for Greg Biffle, Regan will just qualify this car. Greg will shuttle over from Martinsville and get to race this car tomorrow, and then go back to Martinsville and compete in the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series event there on Sunday. That's something Greg's been doing the last couple of years. In fact, David Rudiman qualified this car last year and put it right on the pole. Biffle was also on the pole here in 02. So, boy, things a little tough now for Regan Smith. He's got to live up to that.
As much tension in the garage as I felt this week.
Already qualified for the championship, but fun to watch tonight. Jimmie Johnson, the 5-time champ, missed practice and qualifying yesterday after the birth of his second daughter that happened at 2 a.m. yesterday morning. Jimmie here to race after Regan Smith qualified his car, so he drops to the back and starts without a lap of practice.
Third time on pit road today for Regan Smith. First time 4 tires, last time no tires, but they can't get the looseness out of this race car. You see another chassis adjustment wrench in both sides of the rear there. They'll take 4 good years and fill it full of Sunoco fuel for Regan and hopefully tighten it up a little bit.
As soon as word came out that Kyle Larson would not be cleared to race today, there was only one driver on their mind, Regan Smith. He got the official call at 3:30 in the morning, got here to the track at 7:30 this morning. He sat in the car and they made some comfort changes for him. He's actually running Jamie McMurray's seat, a different steering wheel, a different shifter. The tachometer is set up to his liking. And oh, by the way, the fire suit, well, he couldn't fit in Kyle, so he's borrowing one of the pit crews with some tape over the name, Chris.
You know, Alan, last week a lot of folks think, including Tim, that one less restart might have meant the win. He had him. He had Matt Kenseth pass there on a yellow flag restart late in the race, but then the caution came out just as he was about to make the pass.
Yeah, couldn't hold it. But a great job by that team last weekend at New Hampshire. And a good solid job by Regan Smith in James Finch's #1 machine. 6th fastest out of 13.
Good run.
So the 21-year-old from Cato, New York.
Yeah, even with them being cooler, down to the optimal pressures to start this run, even those things are an advantage. You know, I didn't mind if other people had fresher tires than me, as long as I wasn't the first one that they could get to. Once they get to you, they just start eating you up.
And that's the case with Regan Smith in that 43, fresher tires on that 43 car.
An update on Eric Almirola. He is improving week to week. And he says the difficulty in his stage of recovery right now is that his back doesn't hurt anymore, but he still has to be careful with it. No back brace or anything like that, but he's still on limited duty, no lifting, and of course, no racing, not for several weeks to come. But good to hear that he's progressing nicely after that Kansas crash.
Well, there's a lot of wiggling around with these trucks out there, isn't there, Michael? I mean, these guys have their hands full to try to run up front here.
Regan Smith had a little help from the 15 of Kerry Earnhardt. Now Earnhardt all alone on the bottom until Regan Smith dips down in front of him, so he gets a little of the draft. Ray?
Guys, Regan Smith qualified 8th, and I was a little bit surprised at that. They were very worried about whether they were going to get into the show. I talked to him right before the race started, and he said, you know what? We thought we had a top 3 truck, so I'm disappointed with 8th. This is actually a truck that Ron Hornaday used to win back in Homestead in 2002. It's chassis number 29, and Regan Smith says he feels like it's the very best going down the Brack straightaway and into turn number 3. He said he feels like it's really good in 3 and 4, a little bit tight coming off of turn 1.
Oh, Jimmie Johnson's around. And more collected. Regan Smith. Caution's out again.
We get some gas in it.
That's an excellent restart by A.J. Allmendinger. I'm not sure that Ambrose is going to be very happy about it, and I'm not sure how NASCAR will take it. We'll see if they happen to say anything to him, but he did a great job.
I saw it. It looked like he slowed down just a little bit right before he went. Worked in his advantage, though.
A tough ending to a very tough day for the 14 team.
Well, we got a spinner down the back straightaway and another one along the wall. There's the 54 of Grubb on the backstretch. The 07 of Reagan Smith is over in turn 1.
Two totally unrelated incidents there. I don't know what happened to Grubb going down the backstretch, but Reagan Smith had already gotten into the wall down here into turn 1. It looked like something must have gone wrong because there are skid marks that run way up out of the groove right up to the wall.
Regan Smith has just finished his Bud Pole qualifying run here at Pikes Peak International Raceway. Second car out of George Jebidart's shops for the weekend. And his time is going to put him in 14th out of 19 so far for the 19-year-old from New York State.
Thing jams up from back inside there. You can see Regan Smith just got loose there, and as he tried to correct, the 42 of Justin Marks was right there and sent him spinning. Start there, as you can see. Look, I'm not sure if the 18 got tapped there a little bit, or if it was just getting over on that curbing and lost grip there. Those you can run across those okay if you're kind of up to speed, and as you try to